Welcome back. I am Javier E Gomez filling in for Bob Lee. Are stereotypes still a problem for young men of color? Well, our next guest thinks they are, and he has partnered with an organization that motivates and empowers young black men. To tell us about the institution and an upcoming workshop, we welcome Garvin Reid. Welcome, senor.
Good morning, how are you?
Doing very good. Very happy to have you here.
Happy to be here, definitely.
Now, you've touched on a very important subject for me.
Yes.
Stereotypes, perceptions,
Yes.
image,
Yes.
especially for young men. How far have we come in the fight to change and transform the image of the young black man?
I feel like we've taken steps forward, but also steps backwards. For instance, if you look on the media today, on our popular TV stations and TV shows, we don't see many popular positive role models for our youth. For every, let's say, 10 reality shows that are in a negative light, we may have one show as positive as, let's say, Blackish or Fresh off the boat. There aren't many positive role models on TV. When I grew up, we had, A Different World, we had Martin, we had Family Matters, we had tons of shows that highlighted the black family or the minority family that are making positive steps towards upliftment. And
why do you think it's been so difficult to change these notions?
It's been difficult because, as I said, it's not seen in popular culture. So now it's up to us to do it as a grassroots movement. So it's up to you and I, the average Joes or the normalized role models, to now step out and show these young men that you too can do this, coming from the Bronx or from Brooklyn or from Harlem or any other rough area, that there are everyday role models living in your neighborhood, but we're just not highlighted. So that's where we did bring the TheBlackManCanInstitute to the Bronx.
Do you think the stereotyping and the image challenges has a major impact upon the community itself and its potential for success?
Definitely. As we can see from what's going on in the news today, the stereotyping of young men of color in our communities leads to a perception that's seen from law enforcement to real estate property owners wanting to rent to certain people, to business owners profiling people in their stores. So the perception is very negative right now, and we have to start to do things to make it positive, and that's where this institute comes in very handy.
Very good. Then what does the institute do? How does it come in?
Yes, so it is a one-day empowerment workshop, the TheBlackManCanInstitute. Myself, I am very Bronx proud, right? So I volunteered for this institute twice so far, once at Hofstra University and once at Hunter College. And I worked with Brandon Frame, who is a chief visionary officer, and I said, listen, I want to bring this to the Bronx for the spring. He said, here's the parameter, here are the costs, let's make it happen. I set up a GoFundMe page. I had under about 30 donors in 1 month help me to raise $2,000.
So it is crowdfunded?
Crowdfunded from mostly Bronx funders as well. People who I went to Truman High School with, Cheney University with in Pennsylvania. I'm also part of the Bronx Alphas. They kicked in money also. So it's very crowdfunded from the same community that wants to see this positive image.
Now, the event will take place on Saturday, May 2nd, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Yep. It's a whole day. Now, what's going to happen that day? So
we have first off, there's breakfast, and then we have it's concurrent workshops. So the young men can choose to go to, let's say, one of 4, and then the second one of 4, and they choose either one. And then in their workshop, it's about 45 minutes each. And the workshops range on, as we spoke about it earlier, helping you to find your passion, your hunger, and your drive.
Finding your fire in the belly.
Exactly. So we're not having your typical, financial literacy, blah, blah, blah. It's very creative. So it is talking about things like financial literacy, but in a very creative way, because as we can see, we don't want to speak to or speak at the young brothers. We want to speak with them. We want to have an open dialogue. We want to tell them, listen, we're 10 years out from where you were, or 5 years out from where you were. You're going to be where we are very quickly. Let's help you get there. Let's be your role model. So every workshop is built around that, built around conversations where we're showing them that you too can be successful.
In terms of age brackets and populations, who is this workshop geared towards?
Middle school and high school students. Which is normally where the losses happen. That's where the young brother who's in the middle of the classroom moves to the back of the classroom and then ultimately drops out. So we want to catch them from before they drop out. So to the guys who are in the front of the classroom, they'll definitely make use of this workshop. The middle, definitely. The back, we truly want them. And they're the hardest to get, but we truly want them. We believe that through the power of influence, if we influence the young brothers in the front and the middle of the classroom, they'll go back and say, listen, this Saturday I volunteered at this event. I met some very impactful brothers who look like you and I. And they're 10 years out, and they're doing it. They're from the Bronx. They're from Co-op City. They're from Gun Hill Road. They're from Boston Road. They went to Lehman College, Baruch College. And, you know, they are doing it. There's no reason why we can't do it.
It seems to me that role models are vital for the goal you're trying to accomplish.
Yes, yes, yes. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it weren't for role models. I can say, like, my family is my role model, right? So one of my first role models, I would say, or most impactful to where I am now, is my Uncle Jeffrey. He used to work at Pfizer, now owns 4 Golden Crusts in the Bronx. My first job ever was Golden Crust. My first task was wiping where the wall meets the floor around the whole restaurant. Second task was cleaning the grease trap. The most terrible thing to do in a restaurant ever. But that job right there taught me that I have no other option but to go on to college and then grad school and be great, because I couldn't do that 24/7. Definitely big shouts to those folks who do that and who are making those sacrifices. But that job taught me humility and to humble myself to get to the next step. It
seems also like a huge boot camp in discipline.
Yes, yes, and yes. And I mean, you know, he's also Bronx raised. He went to Lehman College, and he then came back to the Bronx. Also went to Taft High School. So I've seen local role models, but I feel like a lot of the young brothers out there don't have these local role models. So that's where this institute comes in. We also teach them all how to tie ties before they have the keynote speech.
This is dress for success.
Well. Exactly. Because we believe that it's beyond dress for success, it's perception versus reality. We want it to be that how you are perceived is a true reality of who you are. A lot of these young men, they are truly geniuses, scientists, future entrepreneurs, role models, but they are perceived in a negative way. So if they just fine-tune the way that they dress, you know, sometimes pull your pants up, you know, just like know that there's certain time and places for certain things.
Is there a way to remain true to who you are while also making these changes in terms of presentation and perception?
Definitely. I am from the Northeast Bronx, born and raised. I grew up in Co-op City. I still live in Co-op City. Nothing has changed in Garvin from 181 to Truman High School to Cheney. If anything, I just have more knowledge of who I am. And with the knowledge of who I am, I'm able to impact the world at a greater rate now. So, you know, I do have on a suit and bow tie today, but, you know, when I'm walking around, you know, the neighborhood on weekends, it is, you know, sweats and sneakers. But I just know that in certain spaces, I want to ensure that I'm perceived in the right way. And it is unfortunate that I may be perceived differently if I came on the show with the hoodie, but
it seems like an understanding of your role within a real world that is broad and very diverse.
Exactly.
And you have to adapt to circumstances.
Yeah, because I understand the world that we live in.
Is there a registration fee for this event, and how can people obtain information?
So there is no registration. That's where the crowdfunding came in very handy. We funded it fully, so every young man that comes, it's free. They also get a tie, and they get the journal, which is Empower Yourself and Empower the World, which is a daily journal that they write in, and it has like motivational quotes in it every single day. You can go to our website, which is listed on the flyer, to register. And
I should be seeing it on the screen also at some moment.
Yes. And I want to say registration is still open as well. But it's going to be a fantastic event. Wings Academy is our graceful host. So yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Have a great event then.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.